News this morning that the U.S. could launch new airstrikes on Iran. U.S. media outlets Axios and Reuters both say President Donald Trump will be briefed today on a possible short and powerful bombing campaign with the intention of breaking the deadlock with Iran over the Strait of Hormuz. A senior official with Iran's Revolutionary Guard says U.S. warships and military bases in the Middle East would be targeted in retaliation. Now, Iran's supreme leader also released a written statement today, his first remarks in weeks. He says Tehran has been working to secure the Strait of Hormuz since the war began, going on to say when it comes to the Persian Gulf, the only place Americans belong is, quote, at the bottom of its waters. He also calls Iran's missile and nuclear programs national assets. The CBC's Tom Perry is in Jerusalem with more on the latest rhetoric from Washington and Tehran.
Well, it doesn't sound like the two sides are any closer. In fact, they seem to be further apart, despite the ceasefire that has been in place now for a number of days. You did mention this statement by Iran's supreme leader talking about protecting Iran's nuclear capabilities, its missile capabilities as well. I'm going to read you some more of this statement that came out today. Again, this was a written statement. We have not heard from the supreme leader or seen the supreme leader in a long time now. But here's what this written statement said. It says, by God's will, the bright future of the Persian Gulf region will be one without the United States. Outsiders who come from thousands of kilometers away with greedy intentions will have no place here except in the depths of its waters. And he goes on to say the Islamic Republic will ensure the security of the Persian Gulf and eliminate the misuse of this waterway by hostile enemies. Now, we've not heard from Donald Trump on this topic today, at least not that I've heard, but we did hear the president yesterday. He put out a statement, a very early morning statement yesterday on TruthSocial. Now, he posted a photo of himself, or an AI-generated picture of himself. He's carrying an automatic weapon. He's got sunglasses on. There's explosions going on behind him. And there's a headline over top of it that says, "No more Mr. Nice Guy." And in the body of that message, he says, Iran can't get their act together. They don't know how to sign a non-nuclear deal. They better get smart soon. President DJT. So that could be a reference to these reports we're hearing about the United States considering resuming its campaign against Iran, ending this ceasefire. But right now, as I said, the two sides do not seem to be they're still speaking very strongly, delivering very strong messages against each other.
And now, Tom, when we focus on what has been called a second front to this war, there's been a fresh round of attacks and counterattacks in Lebanon today, despite that U.S. brokered ceasefire. What can you tell us about that news?
That's right. Despite the ceasefire, the fighting is still continuing between Hezbollah and Israel. And then we heard from the Israeli defense chief. He was talking to troops this week, and he said effectively there is no ceasefire in Lebanon. The IDF today has been warning people in 8 towns in southern Lebanon that they need, and this is outside the buffer zone that Israel has set up in southern Lebanon, telling them to evacuate. Presumably that means that Israel plans to expand its operations against Hezbollah. In other developments in the fighting, the IDF says that 12 of its troops were injured in a drone strike by Hezbollah. It hit a cargo carrying vehicle, so 12 IDF troops were injured in that. We're hearing as well from the Lebanese Health Ministry that IDF strikes have killed 9 people, including 2 children. And we've heard as well that there have been sirens in the last 24 hours going off in some northern Israeli towns for suspected Hezbollah drone strikes. So again, there is a ceasefire in place in Lebanon, but it seems that both sides, that's Israel and Hezbollah, are fighting on nonetheless.
That's the CBC's Tom Perry in Jerusalem. Thanks, Tom.